Thank you all for coming. My name is Helen Rubino Turco. I am the Director of Social Services and Leisure Services for the town of West Hartford, and I'm here with a number of people. Frank Duncan is the Aquatics Manager of West Hartford Leisure Services, obviously Senator Blumenthal, you know, and this is Stewie the duck. And then we also have Stew Leonard and his wife, Kim. And we're here to talk about aquatic safety. West Hartford offers swim lessons to our community in two different ways. One is through our very popular summer camp. So every camper that enrolls in our summer camp gets a swim lesson. That's about 650 swim lessons that are done through our camps. And then we also offer another 650 lessons through either group lessons or individual lessons that our department also runs. We have 4 outdoor pools in West Hartford, and we also have an indoor facility. And they also offer swim lessons, so that's not part of that 1,300 swim lessons. We also have a scholarship fund, which pays for free swim lessons for underprivileged residents in West Hartford. And so I just wanted to let you know what we're doing already. We're very committed to water safety. It's an important component of the about 100 lifeguards that we hire throughout the season to take care of our 8-week outdoor aquatics program. And that's Frank Duncan is in charge of that training. And we also offer the swim lessons. So we're very committed to this awareness campaign that Senator Blumenthal and the Stew Leonard Foundation is spearheading. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen.
Thank you.
You go and then you?
Okay,
Go ahead.
okay. First of all, I want to thank Senator Blumenthal for supporting our foundation, where we've taught, I believe, about 1 million. We've given about 1 million swim lessons out over the years now, just in the state of Connecticut. And so we really want to teach underprivileged kids how to swim. And we had a real tragedy, and maybe, Kim, do you just want to mention what happened?
I think that basically what happened was we were getting ready for our daughter's birthday, and I assumed Stu was watching our son, and he thought I was watching him, and we never said to each other, "You've got him." And that would be my most important message to parents, is make sure that anytime you're around any type of water, that you have a designated water watcher. And a lot of times drownings happen when it's not swim time. It's, you know, you're at a party, there were aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews around, and sometimes you can let your guard down because you think, oh, there's all these people, all these eyes, but you have to have a pair of eyes on that child.
And what do you think of these?
Oh, yeah. Well, anyhow, that's a huge distraction, which wasn't in our case, but today a huge distraction. So make sure you put that away too.
And so we're thrilled to be here just to support water safety. And now's a critical time of the year because look how beautiful this is with the pools and the kids and the families are all out around the water. But it's also the most dangerous time. And swimming, drownings are preventable. And that's our purpose to be here today, is to just alert all the moms and dads, grandparents, aunts, uncles, everybody out there, just watch those kids when they're around the water and really make this a great season. And I hope I'm not going to read about any drownings this summer in the state of Connecticut. And today's one of the great days to be able to do that. I don't know if I could do this now. I just wanted to present to Helen and Frank right here a water safety plaque that our foundation prepared, and 100 lifeguards. They're going to teach about 1,200 kids this summer to learn how to swim.
Yes.
And Kim and I and Stewie the duck, we just really applaud your efforts, and we just wanted to give this award to you. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce a great customer, even though he really doesn't show it, because you should have a little more meat on the bones here.
There's no calories in Stew Leonard's food.
But anyway, thank you so much for your support every year. Now, Senator Blumenthal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, this is a very personal and important occasion for me as a dad of 4 children, having taught my kids how to swim and watched them in pools all around the state, and also as a friend of Kim and Stew, who, without any exaggeration, have dedicated their lives to saving others from the tragedy they experienced. And the message here is that tragedies can happen in an instant. A moment of carelessness and distraction, a false sense of security just because there are people around, a sense of complacency. So the message here is 3 rules of water safety. Be careful, be watchful, and be vigilant for any kids in the pool at any time, and adults as well, because water is wonderful. And I say that as somebody who swam competitively for many years, and I still swim. Water is wonderful, especially at this time of year, but it is also a potential peril for the unwatchful and the careless. 7 people, on average, in Connecticut alone, die of drowning every year. And it's not off in the oceans, it's not in lakes, it's in pools, mostly at home, where people feel the greatest sense of complacency and false security. So especially if you're at home and you feel secure, always be watchful, vigilant, and careful about water. That's really the first thing you learn when you're teaching kids to swim. When they look like they're doing okay, the first time they look like they're doing okay, that's the time to be on guard, because there is a false sense of security. And Kim is absolutely right. Nowadays, one of the biggest distractions is, in fact, the cell phone. Of course, I'm watching my child, but in the meantime, I'm messaging or texting with my friend, and...
Wait, is that from Trump right there?
4th of July. So
I'm joking.
He's... Let me just say, finally, Stew and Kim and I have known each other from the days when I knew them mainly as a customer, and then I saw them devote their lives to this cause. They have put out a ton of educational materials, of the books and so forth that will help make people safer. And as much as they are paying tribute to West Hartford, and I join Helen, Frank, in thanking you for your great work, I want to thank him and his family, his whole family, who have dedicated themselves to this cause. We, tend to take it for granted. It's summer, it's beautiful. What could be safer and more fun? But it is also a time of great danger. And it's all about prevention and education and awareness, which is why we're here today. So thank you for your great work. And Stewie, we're gonna get you out of there,
That's
right?
the toughest job in the house that I do. Hey, one of the other things I'd like to do in honor of just being here today is, if you go to our website, which is stewietheduck.org, Kim and I have written a book for young children, and if you go to the website, you can we'll send it to you for free, okay? And it's great to read to the little kids. We have a little song in there, the Twinkle Twinkle, which is don't jump in till you learn to swim, and then cover your chest with a safe life vest. And then, grown up must watch you in the pool. And you'll be safe if you learn these rules. Don't jump in until you learn to swim, because Stewie the duck wants you safe like him. That's one of the little songs, but you keep reading that to your kids. It's like Goodnight Moon or something, and the kids will learn to be safe around the water. And that's one message, not just the parents teaching, but the kids learning to be safe. So that's our mission, and thank you so much, Helen, Frank, Senator, Stewie, and my wife, Kim. Thank you, everybody, for covering this and spreading the word today.
Yeah. Any questions?
Stu, how do kids and families that are interested in getting the lessons in your foundation, how do they connect with you?
Well, right now we're sponsoring the YMCAs, like the West Hartford YMCA, for instance. We sponsor Bridgeport. There's Red Cross we're sponsoring. But if you call up one of the YMCAs, that's the best place to start. They're doing a wonderful job at promoting swim lessons right now.
And how many they'll be doing this summer?
Gee, we just had the Red Cross. We just, excuse me?
400 in West Hartford is through West Hartford.
Yeah.
Through our programs. The
No.
YMCA rents space from us, and they also run swim lessons in our pools.
But we'll do 20,000 free lessons this summer, just through the YMCAs in Connecticut. Also New York, too.
About your daughter and the important work you're doing in her memory?
Okay. Well, actually, I have 4 daughters. I know you have 5.
Four, 3 sons and a daughter.
3 sons and a daughter. But our son was our second oldest, and my daughter was only actually, it was her 3rd birthday when he drowned. So it was a real difficult time for my wife and I, at that time. And so, then we went on and had 4 daughters. But our daughters have embraced this whole message also, and they do a lot of book readings. We do a number of book readings. What's that?
And they've dressed up as Stewie.
Yeah, they've dressed up as Stewie. And so, we just want to keep this whole mission going, and just to be able to teach kids, actually the underprivileged ones who don't have a chance to really even be at a pool like this, gives them an opportunity to come and learn to swim.
There are a tremendous number of young people who never learn how to swim. And the reason is they simply don't have access to these kinds of wonderful facilities. And many are from inner cities, they are from minority communities, and they are at the greatest risk. They want to play in the water just like everyone else, but they haven't had the opportunity to learn how to swim. So swimming lessons at the Ys are a big, very impactful way to save people from drowning.
You just mentioned the underprivileged children. A lot of that goes back generations. Their parents don't know how to swim, their grandparents don't know how to swim. Maybe they're nervous to get them swim lessons. What would you say to those parents?
Learning how to swim is one of those basic skills in life that can afford tremendous fun and enjoyment, but also make people a lot safer. And if there is a cycle intergenerationally of not learning how to swim because of lack of opportunity and access, it's on us to correct it. So that communities like West Hartford are reaching out to those communities that are underserved and making that access possible. We as a state and a nation should be doing more, and that's part of what I'm doing. Part of my mission as a senator is to make my colleagues more aware and provide the outreach educationally and the support and funding that's necessary. And it doesn't take a lot. Some really skilled young people like the folks who work here who are teaching swimming, it's a lot more difficult to learn how to do a computer than to learn how to swim. Trust me.
Yeah.
And so there's no excuse for a young person failing to learn how to swim. And, swimming is not necessarily, I did competitive swimming, but just floating.
Yes.
Just being able to float and know with security that you can stay above water even if there is if you're in the ocean and there's a tough tide, don't swim against the tide. Go with it and wait for someone to rescue you. There are all kinds of very simple steps that save lives, and they don't require tremendous physical strength or dexterity, coordination, skill. It's all about just staying above water and enjoying it.
I just thought of another thing that's really important. Most drownings occur 3-year-olds and younger. And I remember as a young mom, so worried about teaching them not to put small objects in their mouth. And we had stairs, making sure the gate was shut. And as young parents, you're so overwhelmed with all of these things. And I grew up in California. I spent my summers at a lake. And it was amazing to me that I just took that for granted, that I had known how to swim all my life, and I didn't see the potential danger there. And I remember the Red Cross we were with them once, and they were saying it's not a lack of supervision, it's a lapse of supervision. And so I really tried to say to those young moms, it's just as important to teach them about having an adult with them whenever they're near water, just as much as it is picking something small in their mouth or putting their finger with a toy into a socket. It should be right up there as one of those things you just drive in. So anyhow.
And the floating thing is a great a message. And Bodie Miller and his wife Morgan, the Olympian out in California, they just lost their little girl. And that's their big message now. They call it the 3 inches. It's a 3 inches between their nose being under the water and their nose being above the water. And even the young kids today can take floating lessons. And that's just getting them acclimated to the water. And if they can learn to, roll on their back, you could leave them there overnight just about, because they all float so well. So floating lessons are really important. But anyway, check that book out at stewietheduck.org. You get a free book right there. And there's also some safety tips for moms and dads. And if somebody's feeling very generous, you can also donate. Every $10 sponsors an underprivileged child to learn how to swim. So,
and just one more point on the floating thing. We went through this stage with our children. Just because a child has floaties, doesn't mean, okay, I can just let them do their thing and I can go in and cook dinner. Floaties are a good thing, but they are far from foolproof. No matter what your child is wearing, even with a life vest and floaties, watch. That's really important.
Yeah.
Don't take anything for granted. And you should read this book. I think it's a real classic. We've had it in our house for I don't know how long. I pointed it out to 2 of my children who are spending the weekend with us with their significant others, and I pointed out to them this book, beginning to educate them on water safety. They're all good swimmers, but no matter how good a swimmer we may be, people aren't born with the skill. So, thank you.
Helen, do you have any idea how many children in West Hartford do not know how to swim, are not signing up for these lessons, or number of kids that you're trying to reach out to get lessons for?
I don't have numbers on who doesn't come, but we do have more than 50, I think more than 60 children who take advantage of the scholarship fund that we provide for free swim lessons, or also reduced fees at our camps. So we're very committed to reaching out to that underprivileged residents in our town to make sure that everyone knows that they have access to a scholarship fund that can help them to pay for the swim lesson.
Stewie, did you have anything? You're the only one of it.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Okay. Hey, thanks everybody. Thank you
Thank
today.
you.